You read, Prabhu.
Om Namo. Yes, yes, Prabhu. You can do it, Prabhu. Prabhu, you can do it.
Yes, yes,
Haribol.
Prabhu. You continue, Prabhu. You continue.
No, no, no. Come on, Prabhu. You're very enthusiastic. You can do it.
Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखावितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमा ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, so today we continue from chapter 8, text number 14. Ananyacheta satatam yomam smarati nityasaha tasyaham sulabah parta nityayuktasya yoginaha. Ananyachetaha, without deviation, satatam, always, yaha, anyone, mam, me, Krishna, smarati, remembers, nityasaha, regularly, tasya, to him, aham, I am, sulabha, sulabha, very easy to achieve, partha, o son of Preta, nitya, regularly, yuktasya, engaged, yoginaha, of the devotee. Translation. For one who remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. Purport. In this verse, the bhakti yoga of the unallied devotees of the Supreme Godhead is described. The preceding verses mention four different kinds of devotees: the distressed, the inquisitive, those who seek material gain, and the speculative philosophers. Different processes of liberation from material entanglement have also been described: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Hatha Yoga. But here Bhakti Yoga, without any mixture of these, is mentioned. In Bhakti Yoga, the devotees desire nothing but Krishna. The pure Bhakti devotee does not desire promotion to heavenly planets, nor does he seek salvation or liberation from material entanglement. A pure devotee does not desire anything. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pure devotee is called Nishkama, which means he has no desire for self-interest. Perfect peace belongs to him alone, not to them who strive for personal gain. The pure devotee only wants to please the Supreme Lord, and so the Lord says that for anyone who is unflinchingly devoted to him, he is easy to attain. The devotee can render service to any of the transcendental forms of the Supreme Lord, and he meets with none of the problems that plague you, the practitioners of other yogas. Bhakti yoga is very simple and pure and easy to perform. One can begin by simply chanting Hare Krishna. Krishna is very merciful to those who engage in his service, and he helps in various ways that devotee who is fully surrendered to him, so he can understand him as he is. The Lord gives such a devotee sufficient intelligence so that ultimately the devotee can attain him in his spiritual kingdom. The special qualification of the pure devotee is that he is always thinking of Krishna without considering the time or place. There should be no impediments. He should be able to carry out his service anywhere and at any time. Some say that the devotee should remain in holy places like Vrindavan or some holy town where the Lord lived, but a pure devotee can live anywhere and create the atmosphere of Vrindavan by his devotional service. It was Sri Advaita who told Lord Chaitanya, "Wherever you are, O Lord, there is Vrindavan." A pure devotee constantly remembers Krishna and meditates upon him. There are qualifications. These are qualifications of the pure devotee from whom the Lord is most easily attainable. Bhakti Yoga is the system that the Gita recommends above all others. Generally, the Bhakti yogis are engaged in 5 different ways. Shanta Bhakta, engaged in devotional service in neutrality. Dasya Bhakta, engaged in devotional service as servant. Sakya Bhakta, engaged as friend. Vatsalya Bhakta, engaged as parent. Madhurya Bhakta, engaged as conjugal lover of the Supreme Lord. In any of these ways, the pure devotee is always constantly engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord and cannot forget the Supreme Lord, and so for him the Lord is easily attained. A pure devotee cannot forget the Supreme Lord for a moment, and similarly, the Lord cannot forget his pure devotee for a moment. This is the great blessing of the Krishna conscious process of chanting the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Okay, who wants to read the next verse?
मैं हे प्रभु
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु प्लीज एक्सेप्ट माय obeisance प्रभु माम उपीत्या पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतं न न पुनवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमं गता माम unto me upitya achieving Punaha again, Janma, birth, Dukkalayam, place of miseries, Ashashvatam, temporary, na, never, Apnuvanti, attains, Mahatmana, the great souls, Samsiddhi, Samsiddhim, perfection, Paramam, ultimate, Gata, achieved. Translation: After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. Purport: Since this temporary material world is full of miseries of birth, old age, disease, and death, naturally, he who achieves the highest perfection and attains the supreme planet, Krishnaloka, Goloka, Vrindavana, does not wish to return. The supreme planet is described in Vedic literature as beyond our material vision, and it is considered the highest goal. The Mahatmas, great souls, receive transcendental messages from the realized devotees, and those gradually develop devotion service in Krishna consciousness and become so absorbed in devotional service that they no longer desire elevation to any of the other material planets, nor do they even want to transfer to any other spiritual planet. They only want Krishna association and nothing else. Such great souls in Krishna Loka attain the highest perfection of life. In other words, they are the supreme souls. Hare Krishna. May I continue or who wants to continue, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. You can continue also, or does anyone other
Can be
want to read?
okay.
You can
Want to
also
read the
continue
Prabhu?
if yes, Prabhu. Read one more.
Okay, thank you. Brahma Brahma Bhuvanadha Lokha Punar Avratino Arjuna Mam Uptetya Tu Kaunteya Punarjanma Na Vidyate. Brahma, up to the Brahmaloka planet, Bhuvana, from the planetary systems, lokas, planets, punaha, again, avartinha, returning Arjuna, O Arjuna, mam unto me, upiteya, upateya, arriving to, but Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Punah Janma, rebirth, na never vidyante, takes to. Translation from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are place of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. Uh, Repeated birth take place, but one who attains to my Bhagavan, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Purport. All kinds of yogi, karma, jnana, atha, etc. eventually have to attain devotional perfection in bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness before they can go to Krishna's transcendental abode and never return. Those who attain the highest material planets or the highest material planets or the planets of the demigods are again subjected to repeated birth and death as persons on earth or elevated to higher planets. People in higher planets such as Brahmaloka, Chandraloka, and Indraloka fall down to earth. The practice of sacrifice called Panchangini Vidya Vidya. Panchangini Vidya recommended in the Katha Upanishad enables one to achieve Brahmaloka. But if in Brahmaloka one does not cultivate Krishna consciousness, then he must return to earth. Those who progress in Krishna consciousness in the higher planets are gradually elevated to higher and higher planets, and at the time of universal devastation are transferred to the eternal spiritual kingdom. When there is devastation of this material universe, Brahma and his devotees who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness are all transferred to the spiritual universe to specific specific spiritual planets according to their desire. Haribol. Yes, Shloka. Who wants to continue?
Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, may I read?
Yes, Prabhu. Haribol.
सहस्रयुगपर्यन्तं हर्यद्ब्राह्मणो विदुः रात्रिं युगसहस्रान्तं तेहोरात्राविदो जनाः. Sahasra, thousand. Yuga, millenniums. Prayantam, including. Aha, they, yat, that. Brahmana, of Brahma. Vidu, know it. Ratrim, night. Yuga, millenniums. Sahasra antam, similarly at the end of 1000. Te, that. Aha, ratra, day and night. Vidah, understand. Janah, people. Translation. By human calculation, 1000 ages taken together is the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night. Purport. The duration of the material universe is limited. It is manifested in cycles of kalpas. A kalpa is a day of Brahma, and one day of Brahma consists of 1000 cycles of 4 yugas or ages: Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali. The cycle of Satya is characterized by virtue, wisdom, and religion, there being practically no ignorance and vice, and the yuga lasts 1.7 million years. In the Treta Yuga, vice is introduced, and this yuga lasts 1.2 million years. In the Dwapara Yuga, there is an even greater decline in virtue and religion, vice increasing, and this yuga lasts 864,000 years. And finally, in Kali Yuga, the yuga we have now been experiencing over the past 5,000 years, there's an abundance of strife, ignorance, irreligion, and vice, true virtue being practically non-existent, and this yuga lasts for 432,000 years. In Kali Yuga, vice increases to such a point that at the termination of the Yuga, the Supreme Lord himself appears as the Kalki avatar, vanquishes the demons, saves his devotees, and commences another Sati Yuga. Then the process is set rolling again. These 4 yugas, rotating 1,000 times, comprise one day of Brahma, the creator god, and the same number comprise one night. Brahma lives 100 of such years and then dies. These 100 years, by Earth calculations, total to 311 trillion and 40 million Earth years. By this calculation, the life of Brahma seems fantastic and interminable, but from the viewpoint of eternity, it is as brief as a lightning flash. In the causal ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising and disappearing like bubbles in the Atlantic. Brahma and his creation are all part of the material universe, and therefore they are in constant flux. In the material universe, not even Brahma is free from the process of birth, old age, disease, and death. Brahma, however, is directly engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord in the management of this universe. Therefore, he at once attains liberation. Elevated sannyasis are promoted to Brahma's particular planet, Brahmaloka, which is the highest planet in the material universe and which survives all the heavenly planets in the upper strata of the planetary system. But in due course, Brahma and all inhabitants of Brahmaloka are subject to death, according to the law of material nature.
So Lord Brahma's body is material. Yes.
Yeah, the third purpose said somewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that his body is made of pure intelligence. So
Yes.
it's not even gross body.
Yeah.
But you remember, I mean, he mentioned this episode when our Brahma, four-headed Brahma, came to see Krishna in Dwaraka, and Krishna invited all other Brahmas from all the different universes, and all they bowed down to him. And when they bowed down, you know, this, I forgot the word, this helmets.
Yeah.
When they bow down, helmets were producing sound. So how is it possible if their bodies is made of subtle elements?
Yes,
So,
Prabhu. Yeah, we cannot understand.
yeah.
Yeah, but this also I understood now that when Lord Brahma gets liberated, he also leaves his body.
Yeah, but in the third canto, it is mentioned that when Brahma leaves body means he's leaving not the body itself, but the mindset. Let me find it.
See this?
Recently, we discussed it with Russian devotees.
This was the last purport, 816 purport, that when there is devastation of this material universe, Brahma and his devotees who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness are all transferred to the spiritual universe and the specific spiritual planets according to their desires. So if one
Yeah,
reads
if you reach Brahma Loka, you after the Brahma dies, you will be promoted to Vaikuntha.
yes, Prabhu, but Lord Brahma leaves his material body, right? When he goes to
Of course,
yeah.
yes, of course.
But then there is also other Brahmas who sometimes don't get promoted, that fall down, because we were also Brahma, as of every living entity when he comes to the material world, first
Yeah.
born as Brahma. So also from this purport, one shouldn't understand that automatically they go to the spiritual world, because there is possibility that Brahma falls down to also.
Yeah, like Srila Prabhupada was asked, if we fall down from the spiritual world and we accepted a certain type of material body, so how did we get this material body? Because it is given, to us according to the
Yeah.
reactions which we did in the past. So Srila Prabhupada said first we came as Brahma, and then slowly we become more degraded, and this is how all this reaction stuff
Yes, Prabhu.
take place.
I was maybe half-headed Brahma. I was so bad, Brahma. I
Yeah.
couldn't manage the universe. Nothing
You
but
see, in the third canto, when Brahma is explaining how he was creating this universe in all the details, you see, the Lord, okay, Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, verse 20, I mean, chapter 20, verse 28. The Lord who can distinctly see the minds of others perceived Brahma's distress and said to him, "Cast off this impure body of yours." Thus commanded by the Lord, Brahma cast off his body. And in the purport, um, according to Sridhara Swami, Brahma's constant dropping of his body does not refer to his actually giving up his body. Rather, he suggests that Brahma gave up a particular mentality. Mind is the subtle body of the living entity. We may sometimes be absorbed in some thought which is sinful, but if we give up the sinful thought, it may be said that we give up the body. Brahma's mind was not in correct order when he created the demons. It must have been full of passion because the entire creation was passionate. Therefore, such passionate sons were born. It follows that any father and mother. Okay, so when he created those demons were homosexual and they tried to attack Brahma. So
yes, Prabhu.
he ran away from them and looking for protection from Krishna. So yeah.
Yes, so Lord Brahma's body is subtle body, but it can do gross things also. It can act in a gross way, just like Tadvai
Yeah,
Prabhu.
like Tatoit Prabhu says that there
Yeah.
must be another subcategory of these gross elements, but in subtle
Yeah.
category. So otherwise, how the sound can be produced from intelligent element?
Yes, Prabhu. And there is also in this, when we see these ghosts, they have subtle bodies, but some ghosts, they cannot interact at all with gross elements, but some ghosts can carry like plate or something. They can, because Nimanita Prabhu told that one story from his childhood, that he was brushing his hair and he was doing something like this, and he placed the brush somewhere when there's, and it like flew at him, the brush by itself.
Yeah,
He explained like this. So seems like some ghost can move the, so there is some things related to this that we don't know.
yeah. But basically, all those ghosts suffer so much because they cannot enjoy. They don't have
Yeah.
these gross senses.
Yes, Prabhu. They can just affect people mentally. So it's not, they can't, they would like
Yeah,
to
and
take the body.
especially I heard, I don't know whether it's supported by Srila Prabhupada or Shastra, but I heard from one devotee that why all these drunkards do all this nonsense when they get drunk? Because we have some kind of body protection, and when we get drunk, this body protection becomes weak, and this is why we becomes affected by attacking by ghosts.
Yes, Prabhu.
So
Yeah.
that's why we do all this nonsense, because those ghosts basically are trying to enjoy through our bodies.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Otherwise, how to explain that some intelligent man, um, some lawyer, when he becomes drunk, he may commit a rape or some other nonsense?
Yes, Prabhu.
How is it possible?
Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen this. I've seen this in practice.
And they cannot explain. If you ask him why all people act differently when they get drunk,
Yeah, and some people act so crazy.
yeah,
Like I've seen crazy things that people are literally controlled. And yeah, even my brother, he went to the mental hospital because someone was, talking to him, and he was communicating with some ghost, and he was
yeah.
doing all crazy things, running to my grandmother's house.
And,
he was saying, "I'm being followed," and he was throwing his phones to some forest, and he was talking to the ceiling. He was talking and looking around and talking to these entities.
Mm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and another thing,
This is proof
that
is
all
black
these
magic.
ghost talks happen when you get drunk. All
Yeah.
it basically never happened with normal people.
Yes, Prabhu. And also these ghosts like to hang around at these places, and especially in places where some big accident has happened. For example, they like to go where there's a lot of suffering. The ghosts like
Mm.
to hang around at those places and like witness it what is going on. Just like some people when they see horrible videos, they like to when they are in mode of ignorance, they like to watch them,
Yeah,
see
my
other.
friend was like, my friend is like that. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know whether he is still doing this, but he did this. So he went
yeah,
some horrible stuff over the internet. I asked him why, because um, when I see those sufferings, it may be. I mean, it makes me to think that I should not misuse this human form of life, something like that. He's saying. So
yeah.
basically, he started to appreciate his life more after seeing those sufferings. And I told him, it is a common sense why you need to certify this by watching all those crap.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that's good argument.
Yeah, because yeah, I
Yeah,
cannot
it's
even think of those things, but and he dared to watch it. Wow.
yes, Prabhu. That's proof of the mode of ignorance. Because
Yes, yes.
we like to watch certain kind of videos, and that person he enjoys that video, and because he's
Yeah.
so and he cannot even change the thing that he likes. But if he would
Concerning,
try, if he would try chant, if we would make a scientific experiment with him, you chant every day for like certain amount of time, and if we would take data that how much he watches those videos and how much he wants to watch, it would go down and down, and eventually he would be like, why was I watching them?
yes. Yeah, I tried as much as possible to save him, and I gave him Life Comes from Life,
Oh, he's
but it
yes,
it didn't work for him because yeah, he started blaming Srila Prabhupada's why he's calling everyone here and there rascals. What kind of book is that?
yes, Prabhu.
Maybe it wasn't the right book for him. I mean, anyway,
Yes, I think it was the right book. I think that
yeah, Krishna filtered him perfectly.
yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, you are not ready yet. And concerning this drinking, I read recently when I read maybe, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I finished Nectar of Devotion, and Srila Prabhupada is saying that when somebody is drinking in the mood of goodness, basically the effect will be that he is going to sleep. So so he's pretty calm and peace. And those who in Rajas and Tamas, so they trying to destroy something or
Mm.
commit uh, nonsense criminal activities. So
Yeah, I've
it is
noticed.
actually there.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
yeah, this explains it because I've noticed that when some people drink, they cannot function. They go in a mode that they just fall asleep and black out. But there is some people that function without knowing that they are even functioning, and they go do so much nonsense stuff, and next day they don't remember anything. But still,
Yeah.
they was functioning even better than they are in their normal state. So there's now I understand why it is.
Yes. Yeah. Everything is there in Srila Prabhupada's books.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, one straight next one.
Bro, what about black magic?
That is also there, especially in these like for Africa side and think places like this, there this black magic is really common. They
Russia is also famous for Dimitri Prabhu,
mm,
black magic.
What?
Black magic.
Yeah,
Africa, there is a lot. They do these voodoo things, and I don't know if it's really
yeah, I
working.
think it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. In this is a
Because
place. This is place in India, Kamakhya temple. You type Kamakhya temple. This is a famous temple. This is a practice. This person practice in black magic. This temple dedicated to black magic.
Yeah, this is worship in the mode
This,
of ignorance, because they
yes,
worship
yes, yes. This
in
is
no
a yeah. This is a
passion or
knowledge.
ignorance.
This is no. This is a knowledge, Prabhu. Vidya, Vidya.
Dimitri Prabhu, what is the verse that if one worships stones and these, and one worships them spirits, that explains the different service in different modes in Gita? What is that verse? Hmm. There is one picture about this also. Hmm.
I'm sorry, I was muted. So it's 9:25, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. So those who worship ghosts and spirits will, yeah,
Yeah, and there's a picture like that.
yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, as for black magic is concerned, that yeah, people in the mode of ignorance are everywhere, so they like this stuff.
Oh.
Like all these um, horror movies about witches and all this, they're all about black magic.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, this is the picture I've used in one of my shorts.
Yes, in one child's lecture, Nimanita Prabhu also explained this.
Yes.
Yeah, this is black magic, this lowest. See, they are doing something with this. They think there's some tree spirit, and if we worship it in some way, he will give us some strength to do
I
something.
recommend you to save this site because this prabhupadagita.com have the best plates from Bhagavad Gita in the best quality.
Yes, Prabhu. Who wants to read next one? Okay, let's read one more before it gets too late in India.
Yes, Prabhu. 10 is 10 p.m. in India.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, I can read this one also. Avyaktadyaktaaya sarva prabhavantyatharag athara agame ratragame praliyante tatraiva vyakta samgnake avyaktad, from the unmanifested, vyaktayaha, living entity, sarvaha, all, prabhavanti, comes into being. Aha agame, at the beginning of the day, ratri agame, at the fall of night, praliyante, or annihilated, tatra, there, eva, certainly, avyakta, the unmanifest, samyag, what? How is this? Samgyake. Can someone tell me how is this pronounced?
Samgyake.
Samgyake.
Yeah.
Translation. When Brahma's days manifest, this multitude of living entities comes into being, and at the arrival of Brahma's night, they are all annihilated. It's always fascinating to think that, 1,000 kalpas is one day, and that is 4,000 Kali Yugas, and only once in 4,000 Kali Yugas Krishna comes. It's always when I think about it, I feel like I'm wasting so much, I don't know what I'm doing. The less intelligent jivas try to remain within this material world and are accordingly elevated and degraded in the various planetary systems. During the daytime of Brahma, they exhibit their activities, and at the coming of Brahma's night, they are annihilated. In the day, they receive various bodies for material activities, and at night, these bodies perish. The jivas, individual souls, remain compact in the body of Vishnu, and again are manifested at the arrival of Brahma's day. When Brahma's life is finally finished, they are all annihilated and remain unmanifest for millions and millions of years. So when they're unmanifest, what they do? Is that called the void that they always want? Is it like
No, you mean it means when Brahma's life, it means they merge to Vishnu's body and wait for another.
Yes.
Exhale.
But do they experience something during that millions and millions of years?
No, they just remain unmanifested.
Is that called the void and the unconscious stage that the
That's interesting.
Because sometimes it is said that there is no like unconscious state for a soul. So are they conscious when they merge there? Is it like similar merging as merging the Brahma Jyoti, or because it's not
No,
liberation?
in Brahma Jyoti,
Yeah.
in Brahma Jyoti they are fully conscious.
Yeah, but this
The
merge,
only
this would be nice question.
the only aspect they deprived of is Ananda bliss.
Yeah.
So knowledge and
eternity.
What is this? Eternity, yes, are there.
Yeah.
But no Ananda. And because they desire Ananda, they they come back to the material world.
Yes, Prabhu.
Because you just, Srila gave a nice example. You cannot sit alone and doing nothing and expect to be happy. After a few minutes, you will get bored and you start to do some activities. So
yes, Prabhu.
This is how it happens.
Yeah.
Yes, they may remain in this effulgence for millions of years, but they will get bored at one point. And since they cannot do activities in the material world because they don't have access to it, because they don't even know about this, that there's something higher than this Brahman effulgence. So they come back to the material world.
Yes, Prabhu.
But yes, when Brahma's life is finished, everything is merging back into Mahavishnu's body.
Yes, Prabhu.
So like Narada Muni, in his previous life, he was merged, and in this life and this creation, he appeared as Narada Muni.
Yeah, this is really hard to understand.
Yeah, for me it looks like, so you see, remain unmanifest. So I don't think they are conscious.
Yes, Prabhu. Then it must feel like 1 second for them. So it must feel like they go from their previous birth to a new birth, like instantly. But yeah, this birth is also like that because we don't remember anything. Even if there was consciousness, it doesn't change anything because we wouldn't remember it. Straight
Yes.
one takes the birth and comes out of the womb, he forgets everything previous to that.
Yes.
Yes, it's you know how many deaths we have, how many bodies we have had to sacrifice to just to come to this human body or this life that we are at now. It's hard to understand. So much suffering has been there for this. Terrible. Now we can go to 6 as the compares.
Yes, Prabhu.
And you know, these Christians, for example, sometimes they feel sorry for Lord Jesus Christ, that this is usually what they talk only about, that Jesus Christ dead, and how they like feel, what is the word? They feel like pity toward Jesus Christ, that oh, he had to die, and but they do not realize that they themselves have to die millions of times just to come to hear about God. So Lord Jesus Christ, he didn't feel any suffering, but they are the ones suffering. And still they think that no, Jesus Christ is suffering, and they feel pity for him, and they forget their own position.
Yes, bro. They think like uh,
Yes,
we
bro.
will do nonsense things, and Jesus Christ will take the punishment like that.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, like Nimai Prabhu called this sin removal machine.
Yeah.
They treat him like that.
Yes, Prabhu. But they don't know that instead of Jesus Christ dying once, they have to die millions of times. They don't know this.
Yes,
Even, you know, their version of hell, it's, you know, it's not that. But when they hear about this, but yeah, their version of hell is, anyways, it's weird because they say eternal hell. That doesn't make sense because if it's eternal, then where is the mercy of God? So that's nonsense.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay,
They
let's
don't even have the clear understanding of what hell is. Like
yeah.
Srila Prabhupada used to narrate that story that one Christian came to how this how this 1 second who works on the earth, how they called those guys who drill the holes. Miners, yeah.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah, like yeah, he came down to preach the miners, and he started to explain that you should start to go, you should go to the church because otherwise because of sins you will go to hell. And one of the miners asked him, what is hell? Well, the hell, it's a dark place, very dark, and like that. And he said, but we've been working in such a place for the whole life, so that means we're already in hell. So
Yes, probably, yeah. This nice.
that so you see, they cannot even describe what the hell is properly.
Yes,
So that for that guy, the hell is already here on earth. So that's why he couldn't appreciate that much his preaching,
yeah,
because what is the point to go to hell? Because if even what is the point to go there if I already working in such a place?
yeah.
Yeah.
even though Jesus was dying like taking punishments very like humbly, no Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhu.
like humble, very humble.
Yes, Prabhu. He was the symbol of this mercy and this forbearance. Jesus Christ taught that if someone hits you on the left cheek, you have to turn your right cheek to him. You cannot fight back, he said.
Yeah. Yeah, and many people, I mean, who are not so religious, they used to give this example, and they consider this weakness. But actually, you have to be a lot. I mean, you have to be so strong to, I mean, to give your second cheek, because it means you are so humble. So it takes. I mean, it speaks a lot about your strength actually, if you are capable to do so, not that you're weak and you tolerate everything.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
It's very easy to fight back, but can you tolerate?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, bro. The fact.
Yeah, and like, okay, I will share one story about Vishnujana after Shikshashtakam breaks.
चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मास्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पितानि यमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशमिहाजनिनानुरागः
नादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना समानेन मानदेन कीर्तनीये सदा हरि।
नतनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीशकामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि
Okay. Next.
ऐनन्दतनुजकिङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवं बुधो कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तयाम्
नयनं बदलमशूर असूर्धरायया वदनं गद्गदा हृदयाग्रा पुलकेत निचिन्तं वपुकदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति।
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविर्स्यायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
आशिलस्य वा पादतां विनष्टु मामदर्शनां भर्तां करोतु मा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनतस्तु स एव नापरो।
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and those you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna, Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, or nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharajananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet some more Father, I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of birth, death, and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govind, please give us patience. I am considering a moment to be like 12 layers or 12 years of night. Tears are flowing from my eyes like tolerance of pain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditional. Hari Bol, Shri Siksastakam ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Panchatattva ki
Jai,
jai, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
जय
Srila
Jai,
Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi.
जय
Hari, Hari,
हरि
Bol.
हरि बोल